Hey, hey, Friday, the weekend is upon us. And as usual on a Friday, right here on Mansfield Today, we talk things motoring with my mate Seggy Woodley. Nice to have you back in the studio, Segs.
Always good to be with you, Jem. Always good to be with you.
Don't know why I say that actually.
Yeah, you don't really need it.
Okay, now listen, last week we discussed the top three things you should know as a female. It was based on a whole lot of emails that we got in. Something that has come up now is people are saying, okay, that's all very well. What do you need to know about your car?
Yeah.
But what do you need to know about the person who fixes your car? Because, Siggy, it's... I'd hate to say it's a relationship because I wouldn't want to have a relationship with you.
Of course.
But
your car would love to have a relationship with me.
But there is, I mean, there must be certain things that you need to look for
Yes.
in a mechanic.
Exactly. You know, and it's like anything else when you go shopping, for, Jeremy. Mm-hmm. You ask your buddies, you ask your friends, you check around, you shop around. Your car's your second most important or most expensive purchase, or in some instances, your most expensive purchase. So why don't you do the same? Why would you just pop it off to any old guy and say, hey, here's my car, here's my keys, sort it out? The thing to do is to ask your family and friends, where do they take their cars? And with the right to repair campaign now, you don't have to take your car back to the dealer.
Yeah.
So, shop around, ask the pair, okay, what would you do, Jeremy? I mean, who would you ask? Let's assume your car's out of warranty now. Who would you ask? What would you do? Would you still go back to Mercedes or BM or Volvo, Audi, whoever, and pay some of the prices that they're asking? I mean, a lot of people also want to save money.
Yeah. No, obviously.
So you'd shop around, you'd ask, hey guys, where do you have your car serviced? And then after they've given you the name of the person who works on their car, that person will know A was referred to him by B. So he's going to do an excellent job to just ensure that his name is not tarnished out there.
Okay, yeah.
So that's how you go about shopping for a mechanic.
But then what should you look for in the mechanic himself?
Let's say you just drove into a shop.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say you just drove into a shop. The person attending to you, the mechanic or the owner of the place, should be au fait with the car, and you can pick that up when someone's chatting to you. If you say, my left front wheel's making a noise, he shouldn't jump to any conclusion and say, oh, it has to be this. His approach would be, let's put it up on the hoist, let's take the wheel off, let's have a look-see first. It'll cost you some money if you don't want us to do the job, but I can't give you a diagnosis without having a look first. If someone just wants to jump at a problem and say, it must be, look, sometimes you can just look at through the mag wheel and say, look, ma'am, your brake pads have gone metal to metal. That's the noise. A lot of, you can do that. Or, sir, it's gone metal to metal, it's your brake pads. But the ideal thing to do is just listen out to how the guy attends to your problem. Or the lady, what approach they take in giving you peace of mind, in asking you to relax. Because sometimes you hear a noise and you go in there all ruffled up. And, if they calm you down, have a look-see for you and give you a diagnosis, that's the place you should be going to.
I would imagine it's the same as, going into a kitchen in a restaurant. If the whole place is a mess,
you should be very careful what you eat in that kitchen.
Exactly.
Yes.
But the same, I would imagine, it should apply to a workshop.
Yes, absolutely. If you look, unfortunately or fortunately, a lot of people don't get a look into the workshops these days because you have the reception. You ask to go to the reception, and they help you out at the reception, or they call a mechanic from the workshop to come out. But in a workshop, if, like you said, Jeremy, I hear what you're saying, but I can't really agree fully with that, because sometimes if you look at a place and it's super clean and A lot of those guys don't know what they're doing, unfortunately. I understand the super clean. Yes, it's important to have a super clean place, and everybody would like their car to be worked on in a super clean place. But a workshop, please remember, is a workshop. In certain instances, you're going to get a lot of stuff lying around and tools and things. But there's a limit to that as well. Like you said, if everything's all over the place, you really don't want them working on your car.
The importance of getting a written quote from somebody like this?
That is ultimately important.
Okay.
That is what the CPA demands, the Consumer Protection Act. And the person repairing your car cannot go ahead with your consent. That should also be a red flag. Excuse me, you repaired my car already? I never asked you to. Why would you repair my car without first getting my consent? Even if the bill's only $50, you should be given a written quote, or if you there, someone talk to you and say, sir, this is the problem, this is what it'll cost you to repair. Are you happy with that?
Okay.
And that's the only time you should pay any money over for your car being repaired.
Yeah, is there any governing body?
Yes, there's a few governing bodies, but you could you have a recourse if you go to the so-called RMI approved workshops.
Okay.
Okay, but now with the Consumer Protection Act, you could take them up on that as well to the Consumer Council and have your problems resolved there. Or the Ombudsman, the Motoring Ombudsman. There's a dedicated Motoring Ombudsman to handle all your problems or your complaints if you think the workshop or the dealership has done you in.
Okay, so you do have that sort of recourse outside?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, very important points, as usual. Thank you very much.
Well, as usual, very nice being here.
Geez. Yeah, I tell you, so one of my best moments on a Friday is waving goodbye to Segi.
Bye.
Because you think he talks, yeah. You must find out what he talks when he gets out of the studio. Man, he just doesn't stop. We got to put a
Muzzle, you got to muzzle me, yeah.
break on him. Thank you for being with us. We'll do it once again next week. Oh, I've just suddenly got hiccups, you see. We'll do it next week, Friday, once again. Until then, cheers.